Okay, guys, some new free agency moves for the Jazz. Jordan Clarkson goes where? And a new rumor about John Collins and where he's going to possibly land. Let's talk about it. It's the Hoopsner Show. All right, guys, before we do anything, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. All right, so we'll start with the little news and we'll build up to the end. That's why you watch the show, right? You want to find out the thing at the end. Anyways, let's talk about it first. Johnny Juang was waived by the Jazz today, likely just clearing cap space. People may ask why. Johnny Juang was... he had developed into a pretty good shooter for Utah. There were times where he was shooting like lights out. He just didn't really do anything else well. And one of the things we've learned with this Utah Jazz team and the future, you need to defend. And he did not defend and didn't really do a lot else other than shoot the ball. So shooting is a great skill to have, but in this day and age in the NBA, you better be able to do more than just shoot the basketball, right? So if you're not defending, if you're not passing, if you're not handling and doing all these different things, but mostly just being an effective defender, rebounder, whatever, then you're not going to last. There's so much skill out there. The shooting is becoming a given these days. You better be able to shoot, but what else can you do? So, Juang waived. All the best to Johnny Juang. All right, let's talk about the next thing. The Utah Jazz guaranteed Svi Mikhailiuk. I thought that was pretty interesting. It's $3.68 million. It's really not that much. I assume that it's just to keep an able-bodied player on the roster if you ever need him to soak up minutes, if you've got injuries or whatever. He plays at the end of the bench. He doesn't really play unless it's like tanking or garbage time or whatever. And if you have him on the roster, you can trade him if you need him with that $3.68 million. It makes a lot of sense to just have him on the roster. He's not going to take a lot of money. And he's also not going to take a lot of minutes from the young guys on the Jazz. So just kind of news and notes for the Jazz, but those are two things that happen. The next big news item, Jordan Clarkson is bought out. He is bought out by the Utah Jazz. All the best to Jordan Clarkson. Guys, my tribute to Jordan Clarkson is... Jordan Clarkson getting squared up with literally everyone in the NBA, playing tough, getting interviewed on the street, being mistaken for a fan. How many Jazz games do you go to? A lot. And then also, the kid that dressed up as him that one day and meeting Jordan Clarkson, that was hilarious. You've got the 6th Man of the Year award from Jordan Clarkson with the video with Joe Ingles. It's fantastic. Go watch it. It's phenomenal. All the moments with Jordan Clarkson, flame on. All of it was fun. I enjoyed it. I'm guessing you all did too. The Jordan Clarkson experience was phenomenal, and it has come to an end. Let me know in the comments your favorite Jordan Clarkson moment or story, or just a goodbye to Jordan Clarkson. I'd love to read it, and you never know. Maybe he'll read it too. No, he will not, but I will, and everyone else will too. But anyways, good. So long to Jordan Clarkson, and the New York Knicks pick him up. He is now on the New York Knicks, which makes sense, and it also adds credence to those rumors we talked about for a while, where we had heard that the Knicks were interested in Jordan Clarkson. They just never had a deal made. Now Jordan Clarkson joins the Knicks, provides some veteran play for them. We know that he can come in at times and play and bring in minutes. Honestly, with the New York Knicks, they need a guy like Jordan Clarkson so they aren't playing their best players like 40 minutes a game. Because guess what? They had players playing too much under Thibodeau. And now, with a new coach, I'm sure they need more depth because they're not going to have their players being played into the ground. Having Jordan Clarkson is valuable for a team like the Knicks, and especially when they're playing bad teams, you can put in Jordan Clarkson and he can go get you some buckets and help you win a few games here and there. He certainly did with the Utah Jazz, especially early on in his tenure with Utah. Now, the final thing today on these news and notes, and this might not be as long a video as we normally do. Forgive me, guys. But we're going to have to talk about John Collins. Now, if you haven't seen it, I think it's going live right now, actually. It is on the the Bleacher Report live stream, it's around the 8:58 mark or 7:58 mark, something like that. It's when Jake Fisher joins the Bleacher Report show. I wrote about it on SLC Dunk. I think I put the mark there. But John Collins, the name he mentions for the Miami Heat, it's most likely team for him to join is the Miami Heat, which makes a lot of sense. I know that he has connections there, and I know that he'd actually like to be traded there. So I think Utah may know that with John Collins and maybe trying to do him a favor to get him over to that team. Now, the question is, can they make it happen? John Collins makes like $26 million, give or take, on that contract. That's hard to make work because you have to make salaries match. So if Utah is trading Collins to the Miami Heat, they're going to have to take contracts back. I have not taken the time to look at the Miami Heat roster right now. I'm not going to do it, but maybe you guys can. Let me know in the comments. What are the contracts that would match with John Collins? What would you want back from the Heat? Personally, if the Utah Jazz, if I were choosing, could get some sort of first-round pick, maybe Utah takes some sort of bad contract back and waives the player, that would be great, although I don't know if that's something they'd be willing to do. But if they could get some sort of pick back for John Collins, that would be a huge win. Even if it's second-round picks. You know, people were losing their minds and getting all up in arms over giving a second-round pick to get off of Collins, be able to make it right back with the trade of John Collins to the Heat. So we can like calm down a little bit on the internet, right? The place where everyone is very, very reasonable and understands nuance, the World Wide Web internet, okay? Social media. Anyways, I think that makes a lot of sense. You can obviously read into between the lines there. There's interest. And, you know, John Collins is a good player. He had it for a lot of the season last year. You know, I didn't really believe in the Collins Sexton 50, 40, 90 stuff. It was mostly garbage time. I mean, at times it was good, and there were times where it wasn't. John Collins was doing 50, 40, 90 legit. And at one point, he was the only 50, 40, 90 player in the whole league last year. Utah had to rest John Collins because he was just flat out too good. And it's a good thing they did because Utah ends up with Ace Bailey because of it. John Collins is legitimately recuperated his value, and you know the contract's pretty big. That's what makes it so hard to move. But I think it's worth a team like the Miami Heat, who likes veteran players, strong, good rebounder. That, you know, he's not the greatest defender, not that great, but he does rebound really well, shoots the three, plays tough, has a nice tough presence on the floor, and he can be a little bit of a 4 or a 5 with whatever lineup you want. And you know, you put him on the floor with Bam Adebayo and Kel'el Ware, and that's a really interesting kind of trio of bigs. So you could see why the Miami Heat would be interested in John Collins. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. It's going to be a shorter video. Make sure, like I said, to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Come on. And if you'd like to support the channel, please join. And just as always, thank you so much to the members. Thank you very much to the All-Stars. I appreciate you. I will talk to you next time.